This will not restrict you to find one specific thing. So construction management is open. You work in heavy civil, you work in residential, you work in commercial, you work in solar, you work in Tesla, you work in electric, any production side, any of it. You can it is all the same. Estimation happens in every project. Scheduling happens in every project. There is an operation side of it, there is an execution side of it, there is a closeout and handover side of it. So I would say, like, this is more of a general category which will broaden your job prospects. So I have few reasons. I have better slides. I can give you better answers in upcoming slides. But believe me, my whole reason to pack it up is this generalized prospect of construction management, where you get to yourself to employed in any kind of an construction facility or a construction project. That is what was the main reason for me to choose this field. And there's a huge demand, because over the years our construction projects have been failed only because of the management, because there are traditional methods which are construction companies do not try to invest on. So with better technical infrastructure, they can perform way better. So our focus is more on managing the entire project, so that it gets completed in a stipulated time, cost, and we don't get into lawsuits and into trouble. The next good field for you would be structural engineering. Structures is evergreen. The only disadvantage of studying structural engineering, because every country has their own codes and conducts. So if you study a master's in structures, you definitely cannot go work in USA, because they have got American codes. So American codes is altogether different. So you basically have to study all the codes there, and that's how you can start practicing there. So that is where I feel a little bit disadvantaged if I go study structures. But definitely, again, it is your interest. So if you really want to go with structural engineering, and if you want to be a structural engineer in future in your career, that's a good option. Then we have geotech. Again, geotech, as we know, it's again related to our soil and foundation and everything. So again, this is again a narrow field which will probably restrict your opportunity. But again, your interest. So in transportation, you can explore highways, airports, railways, seaports. That's a very good upcoming field. You get a lot of opportunities here, because countries are now investing on a lot of these infrastructure. So transportation. I was talking about, like, countries have now plans of investing a lot on airports, highways, their railways, because especially US is looking to improve their infrastructure in a huge extent. So and I'm damn sure that's happening there in the Middle East job market and Indian job market too. There are a lot of projects coming up towards the transportation sector, and I think it's a creamy subject. And if your interest lies there, you can definitely take up. Then we have sustainability management, where again it's a different subject. You have to be a little more creative, more thought process oriented, how to plan. It's basically sustainable planning is all more environmental related, how good you can be, how eco-friendly you can be towards executing a project, how sustainably you can achieve those targets, how good can you, how energy efficient can you make the building or construct the building, all of that. The next is environmental. You have got like water engineering, more of sanitary, sewage, all of that specializations. So again, that's your interest. But environmental has a disadvantage, because in this, people usually looking for locals to have such positions, because it is more of government regulatory system, and you being an immigrant to the other country wouldn't have much knowledge in all of this. So they usually, because in US environmental is more of US citizen based job industry. They looking for those people because they know in and out of the regulations here. And I think that wouldn't have more credibility if you pursue there. But again, yeah, it's not the end of the world again. You would also have opportunities, but yeah, but definitely a narrow prospect of it. Ocean and marine engineering, definitely there's a huge, if you're looking for a PhD, I would suggest there's a huge research going on to understand all this, how to generate electricity power from this ocean waves. All of that research is going on, and Stevens is doing a great job in doing one of those research in some Atlantic Ocean. And smart cities and real estate management. I mean, say this subject is something new now, and would be really a good subject if you're looking at real estate management, because real estate is also having its own way of representing yourself, and how the real estate markets, which is buying, selling, and renting properties, happen. So it is altogether a different strategy. No doubt it is related to the construction, but again, it's altogether, I feel, a different field, different way of how things work there, and a total different personality needs to be in that position to, in order to work work at its to its best. And then we have urban infrastructure planning, related to smart cities, sustainability management, more of urban infrastructure. You can it's all about planning different different roads, canals, tunnels, doing their feasibility study, preparing project proposals, evaluating them, and then coming up with a good project proposal. And hey, this is what we want to do. This looks very good at this position. This is our demand for the next 30-40 years. So here are some of the good subjects I spoke about. Again, this is in the preferential order according to my preferences, but again, as I said, it is not the end of the world. You can go ahead, study your own subject, investigate what's there in the curriculum, what exciting you get to learn. Do not go into the subjects which do not offer you something what you already have. Look in for some other, because you're investing a lot of money, look in for some big flesh where you can get to swallow a lot of things. And then I have a note here. So if you're looking for something in US, then looking in terms of their immigration policies, we have got something called a STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So if your course is a STEM eligible course, then only you can stay back in this country for 3 years, or else your post-study work permit is only 1 year. So if you guys are looking for anything in USA, make sure your program is a STEM accredited program. If not, I wouldn't suggest US to be your preference, because you do not get to stay back here for a long time, because if it's a non-STEM program, it is only 1 year stay back here. So you need to get your H1B picked up in 1 year. So yeah, again, I don't think that is the issue with the other countries, but definitely do your own investigations. Always link your course towards your immigration policies as well as your job prospects back in that country. Next, once you have decided one of the subject here, hey, I want to take this subject finds, I really find it amazing. I get to learn a lot of technical items which I in my home country cannot give me. I am really excited for this course. I'll go ahead, pursue this course, and get myself equipped to have a great career. Then your next job is how to get an admit. So you go find some university, looking for courses. So once you have done that, so your next job is to how you get an admit. So most of the course countries do have a pre uh, admit entrance exams, which they qualify you based on your scores. And then there's also another side of your admit, which is profile. So let me divide them to those two. So under qualifying exams, the first exam is GRE, which is a graduate record examination. It is conducted by a US based company called ETS, Educational Testing Services. It is a exam based on a scorecard of 340. So quant is nothing but mathematics. It's on 170 and verbal is on 170. So uh, a good score for a GRE would be anywhere between 310. Obviously 340 is the limit, but uh, with the competition coming up, the creamy layers always come to us. So I would suggest nothing less than 310 for a good admit. And the next exam, believe me, GRE, one thing is GRE is only for uh, compulsory for US, but uh, other countries like Canada, Germany, UK also make a GRE score an option for them, because it also helps them to understand what you stand there, what is your credibility. So no matter what, I would suggest you to take a GRE exam and submit your course while you're applying for that program. The next two exams would be TOEFL and IELTS. Basically, TOEFL and IELTS are the English exams. So the country wants, because US, UK, all the countries are English countries. They have English as the main communicating language there. They want to make sure people coming in here, students coming in here, are good in English. Their communication is top rated. I mean, not top rated, but comfortable enough for them so they don't find it difficult here, because like the entire coursework, the entire country speaks English. You do not have any other language for you that can serve as a medium of instruction. So these countries have this priority. So TOEFL is on a 120 scale, yeah, conducted for 120 marks. It has got four sections, which is reading, speaking, listening, and writing, each divided for 30 marks. Any good university would require you to score at least 22 plus in each section. So 22 is the, uh, I would say, the safe landing, but anything 25 above is amazing. So if you are able to manage 85, now 85 plus to 90 plus on this, you get some good colleges. But but I would suggest you to target 100 or 110. Believe me, these exams are not that easy. They have got their own difficulty levels. So make sure you have a complete idea of how these exams happen, what is their process, how do you have to give their exams. They have got different exams, testing centers, their own methodology, their own agencies which conduct these. So do a little bit of investigation about it. And then again, TOEFL is again conducted by ETS, which is again US. So TOEFL is an qualifying English qualifying exam for US. And then the next is IELTS. So IELTS is usually conducted by British Council, and nowadays I don't know, it's IDP, which is an Indian organization which conducts IELTS. So again, it's an English language exam. Just wanted to make sure you're proficient with the language. But then this is on a scale of 10. Each section is you get graded based on 10. So reading, speaking, listening, writing, each is based on 10. So a good score on this would be 8 on 10. It's not easy, but 7.5 plus is a safe landing, but definitely 8 plus is really a go getter. And the other two languages is a Duolingo and a PTE. I don't have much information on this, because these are more university related examinations. If you do not wish to give above three, the above two English language exams, you can prefer taking a Duolingo or a PTE. So these are some of the qualifying exams you would need for your master's program. Coming to right part of it, the second part of your admit really depends on something called profile. So your qualifying exams and scores is only 30% contribution towards or getting an admit, but the 70% of your contribution towards getting an admit is your profile. So your profile starts from your 10th standard scorecard, your 12th scores, your undergrad engineering scores, your professional experience, your research background, what certifications you have, what licenses you have, certifications like PMP, IGBC, whatnot, and co-curricular activities. Believe me, you other Western countries have an altogether different perspective of life. They don't just like study. They if one person is doing good, he's doing good in his work as well as doing good in some of the other sport. So they are always interested what apart from your work life and education, what other things you do. So like working for an NGO, you work for a society, you work as a trainer, you work as a swim coach, anything, any other thing apart from your profession and your studies excites them. So make sure whatever achievements you have gotten there, you put in. So basically, all this counts towards your admission to an university. If you do not have a better hold on any one of these, but I would say you can overcome your profile by doing an additional items. Like suppose you're not doing that good on your undergrad scores, but I would say like you do a lot of certifications, work for a while, so that your low undergrad score gets, your profile gets a little lighting, and then like you lift up yourself to portray yourself better position to the university. Definitely everybody cannot do the same as a good candidate is doing, but definitely I would suggest you to evaluate your strengths, your weakness, work on it before it's too late. And here, I usually don't suggest it, but here I would recommend some of you to go visit abroad education consultants who can help you. But again, it's a suggestion, not a compulsion. I don't want you to go waste your time there because they're all money minded. They would charge you a few $1,000 for all this information I'm giving you. But again, you self-help is the best help. Analyze yourself, do your own research. You can do all of this by yourself. It is just a matter of effort and time. So I think once you apply, this is the you go ahead, you submit all this documentation, you apply for the university, and just await for your offer. So while you're submitting your documents to the university, you have to have your complete document set ready